that you have to sacrifice, offer, to move away from the holding on tightly. Now they are saying, what about this, what about this, what about this? They mean to make us to understand what is a qurban properly. Anyway, what are we going to do? Giving suhbah, not giving suhbah. You guys not making any progress anyway. Any questions? Yes?
You said before that this is supposed to be our real
So I can't
family.
move inside. Move all the way inside. Sit next to the window there. So I can't move all the way inside. You can relax there.
This is supposed to be our real family, as you know that. If
Just say that again.
as you said often that this is supposed to be our real families, and since we have moved away from the dunya and come here for a purpose, if there is two,
I never say that. Isn't it funny? I never say that. You ever hear the dargah is just like one big family? You ever hear me say that? Masud is thinking, did he or did he not? Did I ever say we're supposed to be one big family here? Everyone is one big family. Did I ever say that? With father, mother, brother, sister, or whatever, one big happy family. Okay, let me just use the word family. Did I ever say that we're coming up here to be one family? Good. What is the word I use? Community. The other word? Jamaat. I hardly use the word village also. Sometimes. This is important to understand. Because we're not trying to be one big happy family here. In fact, I don't use that word. When I use the word brothers, I always mention it in connection to what? Huh? No. When I use the word brothers, it is in connection to what? Huh? Ayat. Ayatul Karimah. Only the brothers, they are believers. Right? That ayat doesn't say only the brothers, only the believers, they are family. So this we have to understand. Because we are not coming here to substitute for our family. You understand? That you have problems with your family, you have mommy problem, you have daddy problem, you have uncle problem, you have all these kinds of problems, and then you're coming here and to substitute. That's why people, they first say, I love you, Hoja, you're like my father. And then later I squeeze them like a sheikh, and they say, I hate you. I'm not here to be, in fact, so many times we hear Sheikh and he's saying this, I'm not your father, I'm not your brother, I'm not your uncle, I'm not your husband. This is what makes it different, you understand? Because this idea of family, so many religions, they're stuck. Religions, they're stuck with this. They cannot move higher. There is something that is higher than family. There is something that is higher than family. Not father, mother, brother, sister. There is something higher than family. What is that? Your Lord. Your Lord. And your Lord is not like your father. And so many religions, they are stuck. They can only think about their creator as a father. That's it. So, we don't blame them. They say, I have father, I must have mother, right? I have mother, I must have aunt, I must have cousins. What happened? No cousins? Such a miskin family? Yeah, one mother, one father mix up, and then no uncle, no aunt, no grandparents, oh, nothing, that's it. In fact, if anything, Allah is forbidding that. What is He forbidding?
To call anybody his son.
Father. I'm using the word father. Huh? Or what is Allah forbidding? The Prophet? Huh?
That's wrong to call him your father.
Good. Actually, my thought is very clear. I'm not making loops. Huh? Right? It's forbidden, no? You cannot address to the Prophet as a father. And definitely we don't address Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a father, because He is Lord, to understand Lord now. He's not daddy. In fact, if you grew up and then you look at your father and say, Daddy, the father look at you and say, what's wrong with you? You are weird something? I have to choose proper words also these days. Right? Because after a while you're supposed to be like this. Even Hazrat Ali is saying when it is on, right? Okay, just checking. After a while you have to treat your children as your friends. Kind of like equal. You have to treat them like that. When you always say no. So these days, tyrant mothers, that they are definitely not Ahli Paradise, Ahli Jahannam. They backbite, they push their children to run after dunya, they do all sorts of things. They watch Bollywood movie whole day, they're on their phone gossiping and gassing people up and everything, and yet they say, paradise is under my feet, they're saying. Yeah, it's the Dajjalic paradise, which is Jahannam. They quickly to use that. So no, we have to be very careful with these words. We are here to know our Lord as our Lord, not as father, not as uncle. Some murids not understanding, they are still being very, we see Shaykh Effendi, he's coming and to meet people new, they fall in love with our Shaykh. We sit and we don't say anything, we don't even smile. They are on top of the world, Shaykh Effendi is boosting them up. They think they're the only ones. Then they get to be lovey-dovey with Shaykh Effendi like that. And we don't say anything. I mean, I don't say anything. Other people will smirk and snicker. I don't say anything. I say, wait till you discover that our Shaykh is a Shaykh. Don't try to be so like that, because he is a Shaykh. Our Lord is Lord. So we're here to understand that. We're not here to be one big happy family. It's called a cult. Okay? We're here to receive guidance, to live in a Jamaat like this or like that, to understand each other's rights and to understand our ego. Very important. For that, it doesn't have to be a family at all. But please continue with your question.
You said that there's supposed to be a community here. If there are two events, as you know, one here and one with our families in the back, are we supposed to, should we prioritize the community more? Should we feel that more? Should we have more softness and feel the pain of the events in the community more? Or is it okay to feel both sides? If on our family we also have a sad event, or as you know, are we supposed to feel both of those equally, or is it okay to feel one more?
Well, there's nothing that is equal. Nothing in this world is equal, because Allah is Ahad, and He creates everything as one, unique. You cannot have equal. That is depending on your connection to whatever that is happening there. Like, for example, if your connection to the Dargah is very, very strong, and you put everything aside, even the history that you have with other people, then things that is concerning the Shaykh, concerning the Dargah and the members, is going to hit you very sharply. Those other ones is not as sharp, but you're going to feel it because you have a shared history. We're not telling people to cut everything off and to forget everything and to throw everything to garbage. You cannot. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to look and understand. Maybe in the beginning you have to put a sat there. You have to put a like a limit there to say I'm not going to look at it for some time because I'm so saturated in it, I cannot separate myself. So now for some time I have to separate myself, I cannot look. But after a while, you will come into a situation, you have to look, you have to understand, because everyone, you have to look back into your life, whether you like it or you don't like it. You have to look back into your life. That is what is called Judgment Day, no? You have to look back into your life and you have to see what I've done, why I've done. This is this person, this is this situation. Why am I doing it? What is the reason why I'm doing it? Why am I behaving this? I'm behaving like this because of something that happened before. Maybe something happened before that. You start thinking and understanding and going through your whole life. This is judgment. And then you read, you're supposed to think. You cannot sit down for 1 hour to think like that. Think at least for 5 minutes. Think at least in certain situations, it will make you to understand certain things that happen. To think. To try to understand. If your connection to the Dargah is not so strong, and your connection to someone who is outside of the Dargah is strong, we're not going to say, that's wrong, you have to stop that, you have to go according to whatever is in your heart. You understand? But who knows? Maybe that one who doesn't have such a strong feeling towards the Dargah in this year, maybe next year is going to be the one who's strongest. The one who's strong this year, maybe next year he's going to be the one who's weakest, or he's going to be the one who has deviated and turning around and start cursing us. It has happened before, correct? So what are we looking here? We're looking, you see, I'm going to say we look as a teacher. Then I'm thinking, but not everyone is a teacher. Then I'm thinking, in a split second, I'm thinking, everyone is a teacher. Everyone is a mother, and everyone is a father. Enough. If you're a mother and you're a father, you have to teach. You have to raise children. You have to, which means what? You know how much they can carry in this moment. They cannot carry more. You have to know that in this time, then they can carry this much. In this other time, they can carry this much. And you have to guide them to an understanding. You have to guide them. That means that you have to go down to their level. We can do that to children, but we cannot do that to ourselves. We cannot do that to our husbands. We cannot do that to our wives. We cannot do that to our friends. We judge them just like that. But you know, so many times, so many people, they are stuck from where they were children. They never graduated before that. Coming to Tariqat is to find the key to that stuck situation and to open it and to understand, oh, why am I behaving like I'm 13 years old? In other things, I'm behaving like I'm 40 years old, as I am 40 years old. In other things, I'm much older than that. But why with this thing? I'm stuck there. Why is this thing I'm still stuck in this situation that happened to me when I'm a teenager? Why it happened to me at 20 years old or 30 years old? But first, to understand where you are stuck, that is important. If you're doing it a lot to yourself, it's very easy for you to understand other people. If you're not doing it to yourself, you're not going to understand other people. You're going to think, why can't they just listen and obey and understand just like that? Why can't they? What's their problem? I've already said to them 1,000 times, why can't they listen? That means you're not understanding yourself. You're not understanding how stubborn you are. How a person, even if a person is not stubborn, then they get forgetful. They become forgetful. Then there's times where you have to use nice words. There's times where you cannot use nice words anymore. There's times where you have to use a stick like a donkey. Then there's times where you cannot say anything at all. But you have to try in so many different tactics, so many different ways, just as a child, to raise the child. The child is not going to listen like this. You're going to find another way, another way, another way. You can force the kid. You can, but you'll become a monster. You'll become a tyrant. And nobody can say, I don't understand. Sit down. Whoever is there, sit down. There's not necessary to do anything right now. I can hear every step that you're making there. You must have patience now. You must try to understand. Then when you understand, you know how much you can give, how much you can take. You have to use that for each other a little bit. I understand you get upset like this or like that, but so easy for a person to say, I'm right and you are wrong. But it takes the prophets, those who follow their way, it takes the prophets to come and to really speak to their ummah according to their heart, meaning that they understand. They are from that ummah. They understand. They watch everything. They feel everything. It's not a prophet from another ummah coming to teach that other people. No, it's from the same nation. That means why? They understand everything that is going. Then they can speak according to the heart. So it's easy just to force, but you become a monster. You become a tyrant then, and it fails. It never succeeds. It always fails. You cannot force. You understand? If Allah wants, He can force us, but He's not forcing. He's not even using His name of Jabbar. He's not. If He is, we would not have one sip of air to breathe, with all the things that we're committing all together to disobey Him and to make more cruelty in this world. He's not forcing us. So that question that you were asking, it's intelligent question, but it's not a very mature question. You understand? Because you have to see where people's where their holes are. If you see it's holding on very tightly to that, you cannot just pull the person. You have to just be patient a little bit and try to understand. Why is he holding on? Oh, it's because of this. Then you're going to try to provide for that so that the person can let go a little bit and hold on to you. May Allah accept us, our intentions and our service. Make your intentions big, because yes, it may seem as if you have that intention, you're doing it, but you're not succeeding. You have the intention to change, but you're not succeeding. But don't worry, you're in the way of the prophets, you're not in the way of dunya or shaitan. One day it will hit you. You have to get past that. We've seen it happening so many times. You cannot. We're seeing Chef, and he's saying the person is not changing, but one day something happens, something unlocks. That always happens. But until then, you have to be patient. But it starts here. It starts here. If you're understanding your weakness and your stubbornness, you understand other people too. Then you say, I cannot use, that person is being very stubborn, I cannot use this tactic for now. I can't. Then you're going to declare war. But war is strategy. You understand? War doesn't mean you just get up and you just want to destroy. War means how you bring the enemy down. Then you must strategize, which means that you cannot be so emotional. If the emotion is helping you to strategize, to plan, use it. If it's not helping, if it blocks you from being intelligent, and most of the times when you have, like Shaitan is saying, if a man is angry, he's like balls in my hand, I'm playing with him. Shaitan is saying, I'm playing with him. Then don't get angry. Don't get angry, because Shaitan is playing with you. Don't think when I'm angry, I'm very forceful, and very intelligent, I'm very decisive. It's not like that. You understand? So many times it's not like that. Especially when you cannot control the anger. How you know you can control the anger or not control the anger? When you notice how you breathe, and you can change the way you breathe. So, inshallah, step by step we learn. We have to improve. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha.